Hi, I'm Andy,
And I'm Hannah.
and this is the third week of the Queer Darv vlog thingy.
Vlog.
Shh.
Vlog, you mean. Okay.
Okay, and so this week's question is... God, it really sounds
Do you feel comfortable answering questions about being LGBT if your teacher, friend, or stranger asks you? And when you first meet someone, do you tell them right away?
I'm just gonna answer the second question first. Do I tell them right away? No, never. I go to clubs a lot, gay clubs, and I never fully pass. So when a girl starts dancing with me, they're most likely lesbian. I'm not gonna tell them, yo, I'm trans, right away, because it's like, it might push them away. You know, some people don't understand what that is, and I just don't feel like telling them about that. Telling.
Yeah, makes sense. For me, the majority of my friends are straight because, I don't know, I think at this point I still feel more comfortable in the straight community because it's where I, like, physically fit in with the most, and the majority of my friends are from, you know, that group. So I definitely don't tell people, and I'm not extremely happy about the fact that I don't, because I try almost too hard to fit in as the straight girl, and I'll pretend about it and Hey, we're recording something.
We're recording something.
Anyways, I kind of fit the stereotype, you know. I'm fairly, you know, feminine, shall we say. So everyone kind of assumes it at first, and I don't tell people right off the bat. I don't know. I wish I could more easily tell people because everyone generally, like, assumes I'm straight, judging, like, by my, you know, physical appearance. So, yeah. I'm working towards that point.
But when people ask me questions, most of the time I'm willing to answer them. Especially about any part of the LGBT community. If someone asks me a question, I'm willing to answer. Because education, I feel like, is the best thing. But there's, like, this one girl in my class who, like, hints that she's, like, acceptable and everything. Like, she's like...
Accepting.
Whatever.
It's cool. They got you.
She'll, like, put, like, an equal sign on her, like, laptop. She's like, where should I put this? Like, I'm right next to her. I'm like, I fucking get it. You know I'm trans. Whatever. I'm not gonna tell you about it anymore. But if someone, like... I've had several occasions where I went to the men's bathroom at a club, and, like, I came out, and men were like, oh, are you a trans? Are you a trans? I said, yeah, of course. And especially when I'm under the influence, I will definitely tell people that I'm trans. Not, like, just randomly, but if someone asks me, I will definitely tell them. And whenever someone incorrectly,
that's the word, yep.
or mispronouns me wrong. I don't know what the fuck I'm saying.
Labels you? Miscategorizes you, shall we say?
Good enough.
Alright.
When they use the wrong pronoun, that's what I was thinking of. When they use the wrong pronoun...
She's so hot! No.
Okay, when they use the wrong pronoun and I'm drunk,
For example.
I always fix them.
Why did you just say when I'm drunk?
Cause when I'm drunk, I'm more confident.
Okay.
That's so bad to say, I can't say that.
Okay.
Anyway, we're gonna answer this question. How do you feel comfortable answering questions?
So, in response to what he just said about that, what did you say about that? Okay, when people ask you, you're honest about that. Sorry. I have a problem with that. Personally, like I said, I'm working towards it, but with the majority of the people, if I've deemed them accepting, for the most part, I can open up to them, but generally, 80% of the time, I will still play straight, and that does get a little tiring, and like I said, that's something I'm really working on, so, yeah, I'm getting there. Like this, bro.
Okay, advice for other people.
Advice.
I honestly think being trans or being any part of LGBT is not the biggest part of you. It doesn't define 100% of you. It is a major part, but it's not all of you, you know? So, like...
Yeah, people tend to, like, define you as your sexuality or your, you know, your gender identity. It's such a small part of you that it really I don't know, when people entirely can 100% like, oh, that trans kid or that lesbian, like,
Yeah,
I don't know,
and that's weird.
It's a bit much.
So like introduce yourself as yourself.
Hi,
Like,
I'm Hannah. This is Andy. Like, what else do you need to say?
like you don't need to say like oh my god,
I'm Hannah
school,
and I'm a lesbian.
yeah, in high school there were so many people, especially when there was like a big like it was a fad to be gay, and there were so many kids like, hey, my favorite color, or I would say like my favorite color is purple, because it is, and someone else would, and this like fat person would say like my favorite color is red.
Rainbow.
No, they would
I like
say
yellow personally.
they would say like, oh, my favorite color is like yellow, and I'm lesbian, or I'm gay, I'm bi,
geez.
and I'm just like, I don't
super gays, the
care.
power
Like
gays.
nobody cares. Like, but when you introduce yourself, just be you.
Absolutely.
You don't have to tell anybody you're trans. I mean, sometimes it's obvious, sometimes it's not. If you feel comfortable telling people, then go ahead. But if you don't, you don't have to. You know, like, you don't have to talk about any LGBT stuff if you don't feel comfortable. If you do, I know there's some people that make a living out of talking about LGBT issues. If you're one of those people, then by all means, go ahead. That's greater part to you.
But seriously, think about like the straight side of it. Does the straight person come up to you and say, hello, I'm Joe, and I'm a straight male? And like, no, they're going to say, hey, I'm Joe. Like, and then you're going to proceed with life. So you have to treat it that way, and I think that's going to somehow like reduce the stigma that's associated with it. So
the only question I can't really answer is like, if let's say someone uses the wrong pronoun and you feel uncomfortable, if you do feel comfortable like telling them that, hey, I go by he, then go ahead. There's a lot of people, including myself, where in some situations I just let it go. If someone calls me she, I just let it go because I don't feel utterly comfortable telling them, yo, I go by he and I'm trans. Like, you gotta understand this. But if you feel comfortable, then do it. Overall, it's like, be yourself, and like,
absolutely,
being LGBT is not the biggest part of you. Just be yourself, and if you feel comfortable telling about your LGBT-ness, then by all means go ahead. But it's all of what you feel comfortable.
Yeah, absolutely. Do what's comfortable for you, and don't let people's presumptions that your sexuality or your identity is the major part of you. Don't let that like control how you are around them, you know? Like, if they ask, I don't know, are you gay or are you trans? Just say, sure, and then proceed with life. Tell them about yourself, you know. Do what you need to do. Do what makes you yourself, and then they'll see that it's more than, you know, all that makes you you. There's more to you than that, so.
But
know.
Harvey Milk did say, come out, because the more the people come out, I'm not going to edit this at all. The more the people come out, the, like, more people are going to be accepting. So if you were one of those people that just want to come out,
people to come out,
go ahead. So. But just be yourself, honestly. That's, like, the number one rule of life. Be yourself and just be comfortable with yourself.
For sure.
Not going to edit this at all.